How to improve your online store ranking on Google. Many Shopify store owners and WooCommerce store owners, after setting up their store, they thought, okay, now that it's online, then magically all their product pages should be found online, discoverable by Google search users. However, it doesn't happen like that. In the online world, in order to be found on Google, and not just found, to be found on a higher position, to be ranking higher, ideally on page 1, search results position 1, there are certain tactics you can do specifically to help your store rank higher. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you which are the aspects that you should work on specifically, things that are within your control to actually propel your store rankings up higher on Google search so you get more Google traffic. Hi, I'm Clarice Lin, the ROI doctor who specializes in helping small businesses and online stores get more customers and sales by getting on Google and YouTube page 1. In today's video, I'm going to specifically dive into the areas that you as a store owner can do. First things first, for anyone starting an online store, or even if you have just a website itself, you need to set up Google Search Console, the top tool that you need. Previously known as the Google Webmasters tool, Google Search Console has been improved by Google over the years. Because you need to communicate with Google, you want to be ranked on Google Search. That's the tool you set up so you can have a communication channel to talk to Google, to tell Google, hey, this is your store, these are the different products, these are the different pages that you have, and then they will calculate a score for each of your pages and then decide where to rank it on Google search results. And I've created specifically one video where I go into step by step on how you can verify your store with Google Search Console. You need to tell Google, hey, this is my store, and only I have the right to tell you exactly what is on my store. So there's a verification process and how to submit a sitemap. The sitemap, which is used to tell Google how each of your different product pages and your non-product pages, they are all interlinked together, how the homepage is connected to product A, B, C, D. All of this is found on the sitemap, so that needs to be submitted as well. You can check out the video link right here. Do check that out so you can go through that. I'm not going to go into the technical specification here, but I just want to highlight that this is a very important tool. You need to have it set up. So please do that. And I also have another video where I talk about the 5 other Google tools that you need to set up to get more traffic to your store. So you can also check that out here. There's another very useful video which you can do. And once you have your Google Search Console tool all set up, okay, then you are ready for business. The second thing you want to do is to make sure that your pages are linked up. What do I mean by linked up? In Google's algorithm, there is a concept which is very important that most store owners don't know about. It's a well-known secret, so to speak, in the world of marketers, but most store owners don't know about that. It's part of Google's algorithm relies on you linking up your product pages and your non-product pages. So they want to know exactly how your pages are connected to each other. Specifically, if let's say you have products A, B, C, which are under category A, they should somehow be linked together. And on the homepage itself, you want to link to the other pages which are not easily found. Pages on your store that are often, so to speak, that means they're not linked to each other, it's not well liked by Google. Google likes all of your pages to be interlinked as much as possible. So wherever possible, you should be linking to other products. So if you have products that are complementary to each other, try to link them through maybe the product description. Let's say, for example, if you're selling shoes or sneakers, and you do have like customized shoelaces within the shoes itself, within the product description, you can also like say that, oh, if you want to have a variety of different colored shoelaces, these are other laces that you can find right here. So you will link to another of your product, which are the customized colored shoelaces. So by linking your products together, you're creating clusters, product clusters. You are portraying yourself as being a specialist seller for a certain product type. So it's actually good for your SEO as well when you actually do that, linking product pages together. You can link your non-product pages together, which is, for example, like if you have your returns policy or if you have shipping information and contact page. So this could be interlinked together where essential mentioned within a text itself is going to help you as well. And having the homepage link to your product pages where possible, so you can improve the rankings of your individual products. So by having more content or more written topics that's about your product itself, it helps you to rank better on Google. But of course, you don't just write any random blog posts. You want to be writing blog posts that are what your customers will be searching about. But if you have a blog and then let's say, going back to our examples of selling shoes, if you're selling shoes that specifically have certain functions, let's say like waterproof, then you could talk about waterproof, why your shoes have the best waterproof structure, why is it made of, and why is it important, and how does it compare to other shoes, like the technology itself. So when you go into it, this is the kind of article that maybe specifically people who really want to look for waterproof shoes, they're looking for the best possible. So they are looking for specific details that you're addressing it in your blog post itself. So these are topics that you can cover as a standalone. So the more blog pages you have, the higher chances that you can be ranked on Google for other topics as well. So you don't necessarily need to just keep talking about your own products itself. You can talk about the different features and why different features are important to your specific group of customers. That's how you can actually improve, and that's the reason why blogging is a very much big topic as well, because when people blog about topics, they don't just talk about any other topic. They address questions and concerns by their customers. So similarly in this case, depending on what type of products that your store is selling, you want to create blog post topics around that. So that is going to help you rank higher. And let's say if you talk a bit more about shoe technology, waterproof, resistance, what's the difference between waterproof shoes and water resistant shoes? It helps to enhance your authority or your store's authority in terms of shoes, because you're covering other topics around choosing the best type of shoes. So this is a specific example that you can actually address. If you have any specific questions or blog post topics, if you're thinking, what kind of blog post can I write to actually improve my store's SEO, you can put it down in the comments below. If I get enough questions, maybe this could be a video that I could create in a future series. And the fourth thing you can improve on is your product description. One of the things that I noticed very often, the biggest mistake that Shopify store and WooCommerce store owners do is their product descriptions are super short, less than 100 words, sometimes even just 50 words or less. And they thought, as long as I have a product, I have a description, I have my title, that's good enough. But that doesn't quite work like that. Having a longer description works to your advantage in two ways. One, it helps Google to understand properly what your product is about. So the more keywords you have, then the likelihood that they can rank better for the product category that you want to be ranking for. So for example, going back to the shoes product, in terms of the shoes, you can mention, like the material of your shoes, where is it made from, maybe it's sustainable, or what kind of shoelaces, or what are the different conditions that you can wear your shoes, what is it most suitable for. These are different aspects or characteristics of the shoes that you can cover. And by adding those relevant word description into your product description, it helps Google to rank your product higher on search. And of course, the second advantage for you is when a potential buyer comes to your store, looking at the description, they can understand better and they'll have more confidence in buying your product. If your product is not something that's costs like $10 or $20, if it's something that costs $200 and you are having a description that's like 50 words or less, how is that possible to convince your customers to buy? I mean, of course, if you have customer reviews, that's great. If you have product reviews that shows high ratings for your products, awesome. But still, having a longer product description would be a great convincing tool to help turn your shoppers into customers. So work on that product description, see how you can add in other relevant characteristics into your shoes. If you're struggling, then I would highly recommend you to look at your competitors or to look at those big retailers' store and look at how they are describing their products. There are many people who are doing like a great job in terms of product description, and there's a reason why they are spending so much effort on that, because it really helps to push that sales. Last but not least, you want to optimize your product title, your meta description, and your images. Optimizing them, that means putting the correct useful words or the correct keywords in those parts. So for example, if you are selling a pair of shoes, you want to somehow mention the word shoes in your title itself and the meta description. If you're not sure what the meta description is, this is how the meta description looks like. This is where Google search users, when they look at the preview of what your product is about. So having the keywords there within the product description itself helps to get that click through to your store. So you want to make sure the keywords are mentioned there. If there are other keywords as well that potential buyers think about when they are deciding whether to buy your product, then you might want to mention that in as well. If you're selling a pair of shoes and you don't have the keyword shoes, then that's going to be a problem. Sometimes I notice some of the store owners coming out with creative names. If they have certain brand names, then they forget that, okay, the brand name is important and it's great to have an outstanding brand name. But if nobody have ever heard about your name, it's like a creative new word, nobody's going to search about that unless you're a very well-known store. For example, let's say Adidas by itself. Like Adidas is a brand by itself, but Adidas is not a word. If people didn't know about the brand Adidas, nobody would have gone to search for Adidas shoes. Most people, if they're trying to buy a sports shoe, they would search for buying the best sports shoes or best water-resistant sports shoes. They will not think about searching for the word Adidas if they do not already know about the brand. So if you're a new store, focusing on making sure that your brand name appears on all your pages is good, but still you have to make sure that the keyword, the buyers, what's the product category, what's the keyword that they search for on Google search, that needs to be included in your product title itself and the meta description, and of course in the images. So for each of your images that's part of your product itself, you want to label them properly. If you want to know how to optimize those specifically, I have another video right here. You can check out the link right here on how to boost your Google SEO for your Shopify store. You can see exactly how you can make those changes. That's the technical aspect I've demonstrated in the video with screenshots as well, so don't forget to check that out. So to recap, the 5 areas to work on to improve your Google ranking, which is 1, set up your Google Search Console, 2, linking your pages, product and non-product pages. Number 3, starting a blog, writing blog posts related to your products that will help to sell more of your product. 4, writing longer product description that's going to help you get a higher ranking. 5, optimize your product title, meta description, and your images. So I hope that's going to help improve your Google rankings. If you have other questions about how to improve your Google search rankings for your Shopify and WooCommerce store, let me know in the comments below. If there are enough questions for a big enough topic, I'll address it in a future video. If you're struggling to get traffic to your store or struggling to turn your shoppers into buyers, I work with Shopify and WooCommerce store owners to get more sales. You can check out the link to my services below right in the description and pinned comments, so do check that out. I look forward to hear from you. If you found this video useful, please give it a like, hit the subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss future videos on how to get more customers and traffic for your Shopify and WooCommerce store. I'm Clarice Lin, the ROI Doctor, signing off. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.